April. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
Good, good. I'm glad to see you here today. Just wanted to go with a brief update from what we talked about last week. That was your first session with us. While you're in the residential treatment center here, we'll be having individual therapy once per week.
Okay.
That's something you're going to be continue to be agreeable to.
Mm-hmm.
We'll meet once a week. And last week we kind of discussed the concept of cognitive behavioral therapy. Kind of introduced you to that, and that's something that we're going to continue to be working on.
Okay.
But it's the idea that your emotions and behaviors are influenced by how you perceive things in your life. So we'll continue to go through that each session, okay?
Okay.
Just want to kind of do a brief check-in. How's your week been? And if there was a particular situation that you went through that kind of where you felt your mood change, you felt kind of got upset afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell me about anything from this week?
Well, it was an okay week until I got a phone call from my mom.
Okay.
And it was kind of upsetting because she was telling me that I need to hurry up and come home to take care of my kids. And, I wish I was able to be there to take care of my kids right now, but, I think that I need to be here. And so I'm just kind of mad about that and just still upset about it, and was hoping that my mom would be a little more supportive, but so I feel kind of guilty about that.
Yeah, I could definitely see where that phone call would be upsetting to you. Let's definitely put that on the agenda for today. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I'd really like to talk
Okay.
some more about that.
Okay. And I'm sure there's a couple other situations, but if that's okay with you, I'd like to, definitely talk about that one.
Yeah, that's the biggest one.
Okay. You would say that'd be the number one priority from this week? Okay,
Yeah.
definitely. Can you, as you got this phone call from your mom, what kind of thoughts were going through your mind at that time?
Oh gosh, immediately I felt like I'm a bad mother.
Okay.
And just lots of guilt and really just frustrated by the whole thing.
What were those feelings that you experienced at that time?
Just guilt and anger and sadness and just disappointment with myself, and even some disappointment with my mom. So.
Okay, definitely. So just to summarize, you got this upsetting phone call from your mom. While you're here in treatment, you're trying to do what you need to do, then you get this phone call saying basically, come home, you're wasting your time. And you thought, hey, I'm a bad mom.
Yeah.
Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Tell me about, is there any evidence you have that you're a good mom to your kids? Tell me about some things that you do with your children.
Okay. I haven't really thought about maybe I am a good mom. But I like to spend time with my kids, and I tuck them into bed at night, and we always read a book together. I think that's really important. We have that set time to read that book together, and they enjoy it, and I'll even do like the little voices for the characters.
No.
And, so just stuff like that, and spending time with them and taking them to the park, and we love to sing songs together. We're always singing songs and making chocolate chip cookies. They like that.
I bet they do. So spending a lot of time with your kids, do you feel that's important for them?
I do. I feel like that's really important. And my parents didn't spend as much time with me, and I want my kids to have a different experience growing up.
I think that's pretty important for your kids.
Yeah.
Spend time with you. What about, what do you kind of message you think you're sending to your kids by by being here? What kind of good message? I know it's hard to be away from them, but
It is really hard.
Mhm.
But hopefully they see that, sometimes there's hard things that we have to go through in life, and hopefully they can see that I'm doing this for them so I can take better care of them. And if I'm using or whatever, it's just that kind of gives them the opposite message. So I'm trying to do better, and I haven't always been a perfect mom, but I feel like being here will hopefully be the change that I need to be able to spend more time with them.
so you think a good mom, some qualities of a good mom is spending time with their kids and being clean and sober.
Yeah. I didn't think so before, but now I think so. It definitely helps.
And that's something you've definitely been working on here. So I would, challenge what your mom said, and I feel, that what you're kind of doing here is very important for your kids. That making those steps of being clean and sober. Okay. So I think there's some evidence that you are a pretty good mom.
You think so? That's good to hear.
Yeah, I do. Let me ask you this, put you this scenario. What if one of your peers in your treatment, what if they got that same upsetting phone call from their mom? What kind of advice, what would you tell your peer?
Probably something like, don't let that discourage you, that it takes a lot of strength to be in this program, and that they're doing what they're doing for the kids. So, that they should keep trying and keep moving forward, and don't listen to people who, don't believe in them.
Sounds like some pretty good advice.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you see how you can kind of take some own advice for yourself?
Yeah, I can see that. It's just harder to take it for myself than to give it to somebody else.
Yeah, it is. There's something else I'd like you to work on. I think I gave you a copy in your paperwork there. But this is something, if you're agreeable to it, that I'd like you to work on kind of every week while you're here. In the treatment center, and hopefully this is something you can apply in your life when you go back home. It's called this dysfunctional thought record, okay? And it's a tool that we're going to use when you're starting to having negative emotions, negative thoughts going through your head. We're going to kind of pinpoint on this, at that time that happened, what was going through my mind. And this is all part of our sessions that we're going to be taking those thoughts that go through your mind and changing those negative thoughts. So if you would, let's go through one.
Okay.
This is trial run. So the date and time. The last two columns, don't worry about. We'll get to those later on. We're not going to tackle those today. But the first one, let's, oh, you don't have a pen, do you? Here, let me have you fill it out as we're going along, okay? You put the date and the time in that first column.
Okay.
And this is the situation we just went over, okay? We're going to use the situation with your mom.
Okay.
So you would put on there, received upsetting phone call from your mother.
Okay.
Okay. Now we kind of talked about it, what was that thought that went through your mind?
That I'm a bad mom.
Okay. So we'll go put that down. How much did you believe that thought at that time?
A lot.
On a scale, a percentage scale, 1% to 100%, what would you say of how much you believed that thought, that you were a bad mom?
At the time, probably like 95%.
Okay. So we'll write down the percentages too.
Okay.
What's the emotion that you kind of felt at that time as well?
Sadness and guilt.
Okay, so we'll write down those. Again, how intense was that emotion for you?
Oh, you want a scale again?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, another scale.
Definitely 100%.
Okay.
It was very intense.
Okay. So I'd like you to do this throughout the week, and bring this in with
Okay.
you next week. But anytime you're having, you feel that mood change,
Mhm.
okay? I want you to write down the situation and those thoughts. And that's what we're going to challenge. We're going to challenge those thoughts each week that, it's not, you're not really that bad mother.
Okay.
You're not that and that emotion. That's what we're wanting to focus on, okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
Is that something you'd be willing to do?
Mhm. I may fill up your chart though.
That's okay, yes. I got extras. I'll give you another one, okay, before you leave too.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to try one more
Sure.
situation?
Sure.
Okay. Was there another situation maybe for you that you went through this week, or you felt your mood change?
Well, my girlfriend called me and told me that she found out my boyfriend's cheating on me.
Okay.
So that was
had
definitely
to-
a mood change.
Okay. So we would write down the date and time. We would write down that situation.
Okay.
Okay. And then what was that automatic thought that went through? What did you think about when you heard your girlfriend say that?
First, I was just really angry,
Mhm.
and then I felt like, well, that figures because I don't really deserve to be loved.
Okay.
So, I've had quite a week. I'm a bad mom, and I don't deserve to be loved.
How much did you believe that thought at that time?
Probably about 95% again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what was the emotion for you when you were thinking about that?
Anger, sadness, and kind of hopeless, really.
Okay.
All my relationships seem to turn out this way, so I just feel like, well, it must be because I'm unlovable and I'm just going to be alone forever.
And those are those emotions that we're going to challenge,
Okay.
because what I'd like to, see is, you're not that unlovable person. It's just, you're perceiving that situation, and then having those thoughts which make you feel sad.
Yeah.
Okay. So use this throughout the week, and then we'll come back next week and we'll go through that and kind of identify those thoughts. Do you think, did I understand everything we kind of talked about today?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Mhm.
Was there anything else you felt like you wanted to kind of go over, or?
I don't think so. I mean, I've just been so consumed about that phone call from my mom and then the thing with my boyfriend, so, no, there's nothing else.
Okay.
Not right now.
Well, I appreciate you coming in, and we'll talk again next week.
Okay.
And I will see you then.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.